So in today's video, I'll be showing you guys the top 3 free agents that I believe that the San Antonio Spurs should try to target from the 2021 NBA free agency. And the Spurs could end up with more than $50 million in this 2021 NBA offseason if they clear their players like DeMar DeRozan and if he leaves from the Spurs during the free agency. And before I get into the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and hit that notification bell button not to miss out on more awesome NBA content like this. And with all that out of the way, now let's get into the video. So the first player that the San Antonio Spurs should try to sign during the free agency would be John Collins. So the Spurs are projected to have max cap space this summer and could be a sneaky destination for big name players. And John Collins would definitely be a perfect fit for the San Antonio Spurs, playing with their young guards and wings as well, being able to pick and pop or fly to the rim for an alley-oop. And he is an improving defender that could even be a great defender one day by playing for Coach Greg Popovich. And spending some of that money to be able to bring back DeMar DeRozan is also an option as well. But if they do resign DeRozan, they could look into making a sign-and trade not to lose him for nothing, because he's the main player that the Spurs traded for whenever they traded away Kawhi Leonard. And the Spurs seriously have interest in John Collins, but the only problem would be the money that he's going to be requesting. And they will have the money to be able to sign him to the max contract that he wants, but I'm not sure that they will want to do that. And he's only 23 years old and has a ton of upside left in his game. He is an easy double-double machine, and the Spurs have been missing that a lot whenever they parted ways with LaMarcus Aldridge earlier this season. So if they can negotiate with John Collins a deal worth $15 to $20 million a year, I feel like it wouldn't be a bad option. But with that being said, now let's hop on to player number 2. So the second player that the San Antonio Spurs should look into targeting during the 2021 NBA free agency would be Lauri Markannen. So Lauri Markannen would definitely be a cheaper option than John Collins and would still be able to space the floor at a high level with the San Antonio Spurs. And Markannen currently averages about 15 points, 5.5 rebounds per game during this 2020-2021 season, while shooting about 40% from 3, 48% from the field, and 83% from the free throw line. So he's a power forward that is an amazing shooter from everywhere on the field. He's a knockdown scorer that can also create his own type of shot. And he's not one of the better defenders in the league, but he will definitely improve under Coach Popovich's system. And he could definitely be a great free agency option for the San Antonio Spurs for about $10 to $15 million per year. He would definitely be a solid option for the San Antonio Spurs at the 4 position, and definitely much better than Trey Lyles as their main option right now. And this would definitely keep the San Antonio Spurs still competitive in the Western Conference. And a backcourt of Lauri Markannen and Jakob Poeltl will definitely be an interesting one. But with that being said, now let's hop into the final player, player number 3. And the third and final player that the San Antonio Spurs should look into targeting during the 2021 NBA offseason would be Montrezl Harrell. So Montrezl Harrell could be another potential option for the Spurs in free agency, and he could cost them only about $13 to $15 million a year. And the Spurs shouldn't offer him more than a 2-year deal at max, because Montrezl Harrell is about 4 years older than Lauri Markannen and John Collins. So he is 27 years old, and I think he would just be an experiment for the San Antonio Spurs to try out, which means a 2-year deal worth around $27 to $28 million would definitely be an interesting idea, because Harrell is a dominant big man that could play the center or the power forward position, and he is definitely not a great shooter, but he could definitely shoot it from the mid-range, and he is just a great defensive player as well. And for the Lakers, Harrell is currently averaging 14 points, about 7 rebounds, and about a steal and a block per game, while shooting 62% from the field, which is great for a big man like him. And Montrezl Harrell has a player option worth around $9 to $10 million this year, so he probably will decline that deal in order to get more money in free agency. And I'm sure some teams like the Hornets or the Spurs could be able to offer him a about $15 million contract per year. And he would definitely be an interesting fit with Jakob Poeltl, but I don't even know if Jakob Poeltl is the answer for the Spurs long term. So they could try him out with Poeltl at the 4 and the 5, but if that doesn't end up working because of the spacing, then I think they should try Harrell by himself as the center and try to play a small ball lineup. But the reason that Harrell is listed at the last player on this list is because he's probably not going to leave the Los Angeles Lakers, and especially for a team that might get out of the playoffs during the first round. And I feel like he would definitely want to compete for more championships with LeBron and AD in the future. But if he were to leave the Lakers, the reasons would probably be he wants a bigger role and a bigger salary. So with that being said, let me know what you think of today's video, and do you think that the Spurs should target any of these three players in the 2021 NBA free agency? And make sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video if you did enjoy the video. And it was KNYT here, and I'm out. Peace.